What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Battle of Chaos sneak peeks have been wild, and we already didn't have a card worth the value of a box. Everything was 60 and under except for the greedy TCG player pre-sellers trying to get 70 on Guardian Chimera. Look at it now. I wonder if the competition from the people on the banner like Card Brawlers, Tier 0, and now Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily might have something to do with their low sales rates and desperation suddenly to make sales as we look at the plummeting prices on this set outside of the top end. Now, the most interesting thing and most asked thing of me is the Dark Magician. What is the ratio, John? This card, I need it. I love DM collectibles, and it seems early on it's 1 out of every 2 cases. Early reporting said 1 out of every 6 from some rumor, and then early reports from Germany, 1 out of every case about. It seems to be, at least from the US polls today, 1 out of every 2 cases, and the interesting thing is it can take the slot of any card within a pack, but most commonly, that's a common. It does not seem to replace a Starlight either. There are cases with Starlights coming out that also have this Dark Magician. So I really like the look of this. 1 per 2 cases makes it not just fall into everybody's hands, creates a unique collectible within the game that there's not just like this so few of, but when we're talking 1 out of every 2 cases, that's a good amount of them out there, but creates a modern collectible that has some chase behind it. Looking through the prices here on TCG Player, Salesman's getting the most smoke and hype early on in conversations, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily is killing everybody on their prices. They're doing a great job on the Starlights first off, and they're really pricing to sell with the set, I feel like. You have the Libromancer deck core at just $45, and code WhatsGood5 for 5% off, and to support the channel directly. We'll work on all the cards on the site, but not all sealed products on the site, by the way. Then Guardian Chimera at just $40, and I feel like this could be 35 to 30 after some time, but it's the most speculated card on the set, especially with the Albaz stuff in the future. And then Salesman at just 15. I had a conversation that was pretty heated on stream. I feel like it's a worse Prohibition with silver linings that help it beat Prohibition in some places. It's very much like the early conversations of Alpha versus Pankratops, where I'm like, Pankratops is a much better card, but Alpha does have the silver lining of a bit of a higher attack, but he's not a quick effect and doesn't get himself off the field against hand traps. Salesman does something uniquely against certain cards to make sure it's going to shut them down, but then shuts you down from using them and only works for 1 turn. Sometimes 1 turn is all you need, depending on your deck, though. Then they have the Blue Eyes Jet at just $15. I thought this would start 18 to 20, and the market is still trying to hold on to that because the greedy sellers are making their actual sales rates on it. They have it at 25 over on TCG Player versus this 15. Geek Boy at just 12, and then the Floonderies Quick Play at 7, which most people had at 8. I feel like this is the ultra to really get in this set. I feel like Flunder is going to be doing something more than I gave it credit for at first in this format after seeing pros talk about it, seeing a little bit of it in action. I would think about getting that one sooner than later because that's what pre-sales are about. Shooting your shot, making your calls, not just secure the bag, oh I feel good, I got it. You want to try to make smart calls with pre-sales and use that player brain for the wins, because this is, for all intents and purposes, looking at how the prices are falling out, a DM era Dawn of Majesty. I've been saying it, but proof is in the pudding here, where the top end Starlights and that special Dark Magician might help long term on the sealed even, but looking through the rest of the set, the singles are so cheap that something's probably going to pop up in price there over time from its use, and you do have a lot of people with that DM era feeling coming from Master Duel going, wait, there's new Blue Eyes and Dark Magician cards not in Master Duel that are going to want them. But when the front page ends at Secret Rares at $5 and under on pre-sales, and then you start looking around and everything's oh so cheaper, this product has a lot of problems going for it. But if you're in it for the singles and you wanted something from the set, you are winning big. Now, looking at the market around not just Battle of Chaos, who saw this one coming? I called this one several times this week. Crystron Halka Fibrax jumped when the ban list hit in price for the Ultra Rare to the point of $80 sales, and the ulti was sitting at $100. The ulti has now been bought out, you can see the spike in the graph, to a tune of $145 to $150 when it was around $105, $110 before. It was just very obvious that this one would be going up when the Ultra reached so close to it, because this will fall out much less in value if you got it around that that price before and people clamored for it. Looking at Grand Creators, there's a huge cooldown in price continuing to happen. Right of Armaseer market price 48, and you have Water Enchantress market price 50, but the price is starting to go under them. The quantity is starting to get up as the East Coast is seeing their shipments. Remember, the weather actually caused them to slow on their shipments, and now some people are seeing them, and now they're getting to listing their cards. Also, the collector rares chilling out just a tad in price, but Torrential getting highly speculated upon. And again, my number one asked card for the set is not Solemn Strike, surprisingly. It is Torrential Tribute, and what I think about it, and with that much hype going behind it and past format play, I do really like the look of it too. Number F0, look at this. Look at this dip from the Banlist. Oh, my Lyrilusk deck can't play it anymore. Wait, Phantom Knight Brave tokens. I told you guys that you should probably be getting it while it's falling because the PK deck is going to be on this card and is super speculated to have the Banlist with this having cleared the way for it. Be one of the best decks within this upcoming format. And now it's straight back to $38 after falling to almost 30 flat. It's just a funny, oh, there's the Banlist and there it goes back up. I love the look of that. Phantom Knights in general for the highest rarity ones are very low on quantities and slowly starting to trend up, or in some cases quickly go up in price. I remember when Boots was 12, and you can see it spiking up here. It's now $18 and quickly $20, and if you're getting a playset, you're paying quite a bit if you want the max rarity on the Phantom Knight decks. Now, PKs, that's another abbreviation that works with the Brave tokens. Prank Kids, Rip Roar and Roaster is continuing to just go up, 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 up in price, and we see it really trending on sales and low in quantities on the market as well. Right now around $10 though. I want to point at Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm after making fun of Lyrilusk and how their engine got hurt. It got a double whammy on the ban list. I think it's so budget. For ultra rares, out of a duelist pack, even though this duelist pack is struggling, long term I think we will see something with this engine again, but my player brain sometimes get me in troubles with the market where, look, we have those legendary duelist season 1, 2, 3 sets, right? Eventually there could be a legendary duelist season 4, even though we don't have 5 duelists per duelist pack again. The question is when, and how long could it take for Lyrilusk to be good versus this, and will these maintain being the top rarity? Which ones will get secreted out if that product ever got created? Those are the kind of things you have to think about with penny stunks. You get in trouble with your player brain a lot, but my player brain says, wow, look at these prices dip. Look at how readily available this is. It's still a really great engine. You can still do cool things with it, but what is it doing right now? That's why it's so cheap. That's why there's so many sellers, but I still think I like the aspect of at least having this engine, you know, in my binder. At the worst case scenario, I've spent like, look at how cheap the engine is, like around, what, 25 bucks for the entire engine? Seems pretty good to me, but there's a reason all the sellers are selling it so cheap right now too. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon rebounded a little bit after the ban list. I combined banned and rebound there in my mind for some reason. This card has a lot of potential with the Alba Strike structure deck. We also don't know when the next No Sooner Than is, as they've changed No Sooner Than into, oh, we'll take care of that in a couple of months. I can't believe Konami used that wording on the ban list. So we have no clue, but this card has a lot of eyes on it. This spiked up a little again for the Ultra, yet the Starlight has done nothing but go down, as Brothers of Legend hasn't really lived up to the hype of Battles of Legend, especially with Legendary Duelist Season 3 taking a lot of wind out of the sales with a Dusted Gold, Malicious Bane. The description says a double dose of Jaden in Legendary Duel Season 3. Magician's Souls, though, is starting to climb back from 35, as a lot of eyes are on it thanks to Battles of Chaos, us having a Magician's Soul Searcher. This card is being heavily speculated upon. And Astral Karibo has chilled out a bit, so has Allure. There's a ton of great penny stocks in the set, but because it's so readily available, it's done nothing but really climb down in price to a good degree versus any other Battles or Brothers, but still a successful box above the price of 60 for the most part, outside of one zero feedback seller. Then the 2021 Megatins, I was looking around, and Zeus has quite an interesting graph. I know it got a little hype earlier in the month, and I feel like Zeus is something you should get sooner than later with the tool that it is within the metagame. Just pointing it out. We still have the Megatins mostly bottomed out, but some cards are starting to trek back up in price just a hair, especially during this heating up market where you have the road to the WCQ season about to come, and we did also have the Banlist. And now I've gotten to the cards, John, going through some awesome merch. I was looking at Ami, and they have a ton of releases, the main one being that Blue Eyes is finally up for sale, but they have up here the Yugioh Pendulum actual keychain that looks amazing. Do keep in mind international shipping with this site, though. They also have the Brains Dual Disc with Eye on it as a metal keychain, it looks like. And has Yu-Gi-Oh merch gone too far? They have eye earrings just like he has in the freaking anime. This is awesome. And there's the Blue Eyes. It is up for sale. Blue Eyes White Dragon, Blue Eyes Alternative. That's why there's not three. It's the two different Blue Eyes with Smug Kaiba at around $410 before shipping. I haven't seen it pop up on the US sites, but I would assume shipping on this would be around $45 to $60 depending on your region if you're in the US. But again, know your imports, customs, depending on where you live, and how much shipping can really range for. Like, I know Brazil's notoriously terrible for that, and we actually have a lot of you guys watching from Brazil. Shout out. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. Let me know what you think about these plummeting Battle of Chaos prices. Even TCG people are getting motivated, but Sales Pitch getting a lot of hype. What do you think specifically about Sales Pitch? And what are you grabbing from pre-sales that you think is big brain, is too cheap right now? Week 1 is going to spike up. I feel like something is going to spike up week 1, especially from this set with how low the value is. The question is, what is it, and where will the money be? Or will it really settle for a while, and will we have the equivalent to an Aluber even in this set? Or is it just really resting all on that nostalgia factor for the future of the set? I still like it sealed, but long term, we're talking years most likely, in my opinion, and that is where you make your own big boy decisions.